Exploration of the Russian Arctic dates back hundreds of years. One of the first major Russian expeditions occurred in the mid-1800s under the command of the poet and amateur naturalist Konstantin Sluchevsky. His goal was to get a sense of the daily life of local residents. As he traveled, he realized that there was potential for the development of the northern regions of Russia. However, he concluded that Russia will face many challenges because of the British and Norwegian heavy fishing presence in the area. During the 1900s, there was a period of more extensive exploration of the Northern Sea route after the economic wealth of Siberia was discovered. However, due to the short navigation season for ships and not being educated on the Arctic, the Tsarist government at the time was reluctant to finance trips for Arctic exploration. Because of this, Arctic exploration did not come to the forefront again until the formation of the Soviet Union. During the Soviet Union, the main focus of exploration was to industrialize the Arctic, discover new transportation routes, and to extract natural and mineral resources. As a result, Soviet explorers discovered new land and geographic features. They also created another sea route using new technologies such as icebreakers, well-equipped research fleets, meteorological stations, airplanes, and ice runways. New cities, such as Monchegorsk, were established for nickel and copper, and Medveshegorsk for lumber and aluminum. These efforts were then doubled within the 21st century by President Medvedev and Putin, who focused on modernizing Russia's military-industrial complex. Although exploration in the Russian Arctic has been going on for years, there are many problems associated with this exploration. Global economic growth and technological development has led to an increase of interest in the Arctic's mineral base as well as interest in exploiting its transit potential. With this in mind, Russia believes that the development of the Arctic zone is a key to national economic growth. However, there are environmental issues that come with the development of the Arctic. The Arctic is one of the 4 regions most vulnerable to climate change, thus making its ecosystems one of the most fragile on the planet. The Arctic is home to only about 1% of all species of living organisms. However, it is there which most of the living taxa are fully represented. Considering this, any damage to the ecosystem would be severe. The Arctic is also very fragile because of its susceptibleness to pollution. At low temperatures, the processes of the ocean ridding itself of pollution occur slowly, and because of this, the ecosystem is not able to fully recover even over hundreds of years. The Russian part of the Arctic is already the most developed, and is subsequently the most polluted due to the industrialization of the region. Although the dissolvement of the Soviet Union has led to partial deindustrialization and immigration out of the Arctic zone, the environmental issues are still present. The development of the Russian Arctic has led to international concern. The United Nations Environment Program recognizes 3 concerns: climate change and the melting of Arctic ice, pollution of northern marine waters with oil and chemicals by maritime transportation, and reduction in Arctic animal population and changes in their habitat. One of these concerns, climate change, is occurring at a fast rate. In recent decades, the rise in the average Arctic surface temperature has risen twice as fast as the global average. There has also been a reduction in the area of Arctic ice at a rate between 3.9 and 4.5% per decade between 1979 and 2012. The Arctic permafrost contains 1.7 trillion tons of gases such as methane and carbon dioxide, so when the ice melts, it also speeds up the process of climate change. The melting also threatens to raise sea levels, which would affect small islands and cities located in low-lying coastal areas. Overall, climate change will not only have a major effect on the Arctic itself, but it will also affect the whole world. Although Russia has policies in place that are meant to help protect the Arctic, they still have a lot more work to do. Russia has listed ensuring environmental safety, preserving and protecting the natural Arctic environment, and liquidating the environmental consequences of business in the face of increasing economic activity and global climate change as priorities for developing the Arctic zone. However, the laws apply to Russia as a whole, and because of this, the conditions for the Arctic are not completely covered. There is a need for the development of new laws and regulations in order to keep the Arctic from being damaged and consequently, the whole world.